Hello, in this video we will talk about the World This Is World masteries you should try to get first as a new player to World This Is World. Whether this will be your first ever character, or maybe you are just taking a certain character to World This Is World for the first time and you still don't have enough points to max out everything. So first we open our World This Is World panel. Press B or click on this icon. It looks like a castle. And then we will go to the last tab that says Rank and Abilities. Scroll all the way down. And the most important thing at the beginning is being able to keep up with Zeg and the commander. And in order for you to do this easily, you will need to glide and you will need the mount. All you need for gliding is just the first mastery. The others are just simply going to improve your ability in gliding, but this first one is what will enable you to glide. So make sure you just unlock that first mastery. And the same thing for the Warclaw mount. You just need the first mastery to be able to unlock. The other masteries just simply improve how the mount works. But keep in mind that spending 1 point in the Warclaw line will not actually give you the mount. It will just unlock the collection that you need to do in order for you to get the mount. Once we are done with those two things, we then move on to Provisions Master line. And we will need to spend 4 points in order for us to pick loot automatically. Now keep in mind that this is different than auto loot in PvE. The mastery you get, even if you have it, it will not auto loot in World This Is World. This is different. You will not auto loot in World This Is World unless you have this mastery. You will need a total of 20 points to be able to unlock it. This will be very important for you because you will very soon notice that World This Is World is fast-paced, and Zergs and commanders will not necessarily wait too long to pick up loot. They will be moving too often, and for someone that may not have auto loot enabled, you will find out that you are leaving too many bags behind. And afterwards, we scroll down and we will go to Supply Master, and we will unlock the Force Mastery. What this will do is it will give you a chance to get some supplies back when you spend them. So what does that mean? It means, let's say you have 1 supply remaining and you are building a ram or a cat or any other piece of siege. There is a chance that you will get some supplies back up to about 4 or 5 or so, just from spending 1 supply. This will be extremely valuable, especially if you are running maybe with a small group and supplies is not necessarily plenty and we are very tight and we really need to build a piece of siege. This will be very, very valuable. So make sure you go to this after the auto loot. And once you are done with Supply Master, you want to scroll up and you will go to Build Master. And here you will just simply max it out. You need a total of 15 points. And this is going to enable you to spend 10 supplies at a time while building, which means 2 things. You will be able to spend your supplies very quickly and get out of the pressure, maybe because most of the time when you are building siege you take pressure. But at the same time, it will also enable your Zerg and your commander to build siege up quickly to get it done and start using it immediately. And once you are done with this, we will scroll down again, and this time we have one of 2 choices. If you found yourself struggling against siege and you found that you are dying often from the AC fire and ballistas and such, now of course you can do some adjustments to your gear to be a little bit more tanky, but let's say you already did and you are still struggling. In that case, you want to max out the siege bunker. It's not necessarily going to make you invulnerable against them, but it will decrease the damage by 10%, which can help a lot. Just keep in mind that to max out the line, you need 35 points, which for a new player in World vs. World may not be easy to come by. And the second option we have will be supply capacity. This will basically allow you to have 15 supplies by default instead of 10. And that also means if you maybe pass by an objective, whether a camp, a keep, or a tower or anything that will be claimed and will have the +5, then you will be carrying 20 supplies. And again, supplies are very important in World vs. World, and it will help your commander and your Zerg a lot. So having more of it is definitely a plus. But you should only do this if you find yourself not struggling with siege as much. If you are, go to siege bunker first, max it out, and then max out supply capacity. Now again, pay attention here, and you will notice that you need a total of 145 points to max it out, which again is not going to be easy for a new player in World vs. World. So be careful what you spend your points on. Now, in case you don't know, each one of those points is basically a rank. So every time you rank up, you get one of those ability points that you can spend on other stuff. And those are basically the most essential and the most important lines in World vs. World. After this, it really depends on your play style and what you find yourself doing most of the time and how experienced you are. Maybe you found yourself doing some solo roaming instead of following a commander. Maybe you found yourself doing a lot of fighting or using a lot of siege. So it depends really on what you will do next to choose your line. But at this point, you should have enough knowledge about World vs. World to be able to pick your paths and the lines you will need next.